Hey guys, welcome back to Light Up the Dark Candles with James. Today we're going to do an opening kind of recommended list of items that you're going to want to pick up to be able to make professional candles and whatever you might need for those types of situations. We're going to go in later episodes, we'll go into like the different types of wax, the different types of wicks, jars, colors, scents, different types of candles. If you want to do candles that are not actually in jars, you want to do what are known as pillar candles. Any of those types of things. And if you have questions, always go ahead and just post them below, and I'll get to them as soon as I possibly can. But today it's just going to be like a upfront, like I would suggest that you definitely pick up one of these items or a couple of them if this is something that you're wanting to get into, and I'll make suggestions based on whether you want to do it as just kind of a hobby thing for yourself, or if it's something that in the future you might be interested in actually like start making candles for other people, or not just other people, but may even to like go to fairs or to sell to stores or whatever it might be. So, without further ado, let's just jump in here. The first thing, by far, the first thing that you're going to need is to find a distributor that sells like the equipment, and there are a number of different like websites online to be able to get all the equipment that you'll need. You could probably get it off of eBay or off of Amazon, but generally I stick to one of those websites. I don't really have one in particular that I use. I use a couple of different ones, but I'm not trying to plug anybody right now. So I'm just gonna make suggestions, and if you want to know of a specific website, let me know, and I'll get you a website that I'd recommend. But what you're gonna need first is obviously is a heating source. I recommend you can get these at Walmart, Kohl's, um, Macy's, different things like that. But you get like one of those two burner or single burner electric skillets. And the reason that I recommend getting this instead of actually getting or using your kitchen oven to be able to cook them is because candles can get very messy very quickly. And they're, depending on what kind of wax, they're very easy to clean up. But if you accidentally drip something on a portable unit that you're using, it's much easier to clean up. It's much easier to take care of because you're probably only going to be using that to make candles. I'm not saying that's the only thing, but I'm just saying that, I mean, you could probably get one and not have to use it for anything else. And it's a lot easier. Plus, larger like gas ovens and electric ovens have difficulties because wax can be flammable based on what kind you use and what you put in it. And so if you're using your oven and something drips down into your oven, then there can be an issue. That's why I recommend, I know that Walmart has these two burner, like it's like an electric oven top, like griddle oven top, but they have like a ceramic plate on top. So if it drips off of it, it's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to get on top. And then all you really have to do is use a little bit of warm water and a little bit of soap, and it'll come right off. So it's no big deal, and it's definitely something that can be cleaned easily and maintained for a long time. But when you go in, make sure that you get like a name brand uh, griddle on it, because if you buy the cheaper ones, I've definitely had issues with them lasting a couple of months and then having to go buy another one. And so, in all honesty, for me, it was cheaper to pay, 15, $20 more and get the nice one, bring that home and use it instead of buying like the cheap brand one and have to keep replacing them. But that's just my suggestion. So what the next thing that you'll want to go for is you'll need a digital scale that I recommend getting one that will hold up to or register up to 15 pounds. Now, you should never be putting 15 pounds on it, but you just want to be able to have that versatility to know how much weight of wax and stuff like that you're going to be putting into your candles, because a lot of the ways that I teach people how to make candles is based on the weight. And so it's a lot easier for me to just measure out weights and then put them on the burners and melt the wax than it is to like scrape out, because I don't cut wax from sheets. I use wax flakes, because I've always found that they've worked better. I have used wax sheets in the past, but I don't know. You have to cut it up yourself, and it's just not something that I recommend. I always buy big boxes of wax flakes and go from there. But so you'll definitely want a digital scale, like I said, at least a 15-pound digital scale, and those are going to run. I've seen them anywhere from $25 to $50. I've had as well little diamond scales that I've gotten for pretty much. I've had them so that I could like custom measure colors and things like that, because you used to have to buy colors in bricks and you'd shave off certain amounts of colors to make the right color in a candle. But now, with the way that the candle industry is running, you can actually buy what are called they're little diamonds, and they send you a sheet that shows you put this many diamonds in of this kind to be able to make the desired color that you would like to get, if you would even like to use color. So you don't really need one, but it's something that would be helpful if you're interested. Next, you're definitely going to want to get a seamless aluminum pouring pot. You want to make sure that it is aluminum and it is seamless, because if it's not seamless and they're movable parts or things like that, because I've seen a lot of different ideas, they're really a waste of money and a waste of time, because you have to spend more time cleaning them than if you just buy a seamless one. A seamless one, they heat up uniformly. They keep everything where it's supposed to be, and they clean very easily. Basically, when you're done making however many candles you want to make during the day, all you have to do is take it out in your yard and wash it out with your hose, or you can wash it out in your sink. You just want to make sure that you're not putting wax down your sink. Make sure you put like your stopper in and then pull out if there's any wax that got out. But yeah, that's definitely an important thing. And you can get, I know that they make mini ones, and they make normal size, or what are called the large aluminum seamless aluminum pouring pots. Your large ones are going to be anywhere from $10 to $15. They're all basically the same thing if you make sure that they're aluminum and that they're seamless. But they're all pretty good stuff. You definitely want to get one that's got a plastic handle. Don't get one that's got an acrylic handle. I've made that mistake before, and they can crack and break because there's actually quite a bit of weight. Because you're looking at generally putting about 3 pounds worth of pressure of liquid that's going to be in the jar as it is. So it's best that it's plastic and it's going to be able to hold up to the weight that's going to actually be in the metal pot. Okay, so one of those options would probably be the best way to go. Your next option would be a thermometer. And you can go to Walmart. It doesn't need to be anything special. I actually use an economy thermometer, one of those large, like what they look like is an oversized like thermometer that your mom used to put in your mouth when you were a kid to get your temperature, but they use them for like food and boiling water and stuff like that. I use that because I like it, and I think it's like a really good dial of what's going on. They do make digital thermometers, and I probably would move to a digital thermometer if I was still making candles all the time. But you're looking about $15 for a digital thermometer, and you're looking between, I don't know, $4 and $8 at most for one of the economy ones. So it basically comes down to your preference, which would you like to do, and so go accordingly on those. Also, if you go on to a lot of these websites will suggest that you buy these products called wick bars or wick tie bars. It's a joke. Don't buy them. They're a waste of money. What they are is it's a metal bar that's got ridges in it that you place on top of the glass jar that you're pouring your wax into, and it holds the wick in the center of the jar so that the wick isn't like sitting to the left or to the right, or so it doesn't fall down into the liquid. I'm sorry, not liquid, but the wax. But basically, it's a waste of money. All you need to do, to be completely honest, is drive down to a Marshall's. Maybe not Marshall's. I'm sorry. Like a Hobby Lobby is where I would go, or any type of craft store. I mean, they probably even have them at Walmart. I know that I got like a box of like 500 of them from Hobby Lobby, and it was really cheap. But just get you a big box of the large size tongue depressors, the long wooden ones that are, they're like 5-6 inches long, maybe like half an inch to 3/4 of an inch wide. And all you have to do is get yourself a drill or a drill press and drill holes in the very center of all of those, of a bunch of tongue depressors. If you knock out 30 of them, then you have basically made yourself 30 of these wick bars or wick holders. And so it's kind of absurd for you to spend, like, they're probably wanting to sell like them for like $1 a piece when you could make them for like 2 or 3 cents a piece. So that's a way that you can knock out that. Don't pick them up. Just get yourself some tongue depressors. It's a lot easier to do it that way. And because you're going to get wax on them, I guarantee it, because you'll be pouring and the wax will come out faster than you meant it to, and it'll dump on the wick holder. And those metal ones, you basically have to boil them to get the wax off of them. Because I've made the mistake of purchasing them. And the wooden ones, if they get wax on them and you can't use them anymore, you can just throw them away. Because you've literally purchased 500 of them. You don't need to keep all of them if that happens. If you want to, you can like scrape off the wax if you want to keep using them, that's fine. But it's not really something that is necessary. but as always, it's up to you. It's just a suggestion. Next, basically, the next thing that I would talk about on these suggestions, I'm going to go with the stuff that I use and make those suggestions to you guys. And if you want more information, and I promise you there will be more videos, and I'm going to go in depth on, the different types of wax that are available, the different types of wicks, glass jars, all of that kind of stuff. But I'm just going to throw out the stuff that I use from time to time on making suggestions today, so that you kind of have a base on, if you're interested in picking up some stuff, then you would kind of know what to go look for at the store or what to look for on a website. But what I recommend is that you use soy wax. Soy wax is 100% green wax. There's no impurities in it, and it's one of the only wax out there that you can burn around kids, around pets, around anybody, older people, and it never hurts them. It never puts any type of chemicals or toxins into the air, so it's very, very clean. And the best part about, and I mean the best part about soy wax, is that it's literally water soluble. So if you put a little bit of soap into a bucket of water and go scrub, like if you knock over a soy wax candle onto your carpet, a little bit of soap and water will bring that wax right out of your carpet. And other waxes won't let you do that, and so that's why I pretty much go with soy waxes. Generally, when it comes to soy wax, I really like the Golden Wax brand. They do some really good stuff. There's also a really good product that's made by a company called EcoSoya, and they make some fantastic bags of wax that you can get. Like, you can buy wax that is for pillar candles, you can buy soy wax that's for regular candles. I mean, for all different kinds of things, but they're both really good quality stuff, and I'm not being paid to plug them. Those are the ones that I would recommend, and they've definitely evolved over the years. There have definitely been some new quality products, because like having green candles is relatively a new thing. It's not really been an open thing to be able to make because of companies knowing that they are a little bit more expensive, and so they don't necessarily put out green candles. But yeah, I mean, that the Golden Wax, or the like I said, the EcoSoya wax, I recommend, if you're gonna look for the EcoSoya, go with the 230 brand bag, or I think it's called the Q230 Eco brand bag. You can get them in like 45 pounds. You can get them in 10-pound bags. Just whatever you prefer. Probably like start with a 10-pound bag and see if this is something you want to do. But that's really good stuff. They do offer an advanced soy. I believe it's called a CB advanced soy. I'm not entirely sure what the advancement is on that soy. Maybe it's a lot better quality and I just don't know. I'm going to research that and find out what the difference between the two would be. But it's not what I would order. But if you want to, I mean, feel free to check into that. And then as well, they'll definitely have, it'll be called Pillar Blend if you're wanting to make pillar candles. So those are the type of waxes that I use. When it comes to wicks, when you're looking for wicks, you're wanting to look for, you want to go in and find, I'm sorry, you're wanting to find like, they're called wick clip assemblies, I believe. And what that means is that it's going to be the wick at the size that you specify it at, and the strength that you will specify it at, because you'll learn in time, and of course we'll explain it here, but basically you'll have to figure out what strength of wick that you want to use for your candles, because what you're looking for is to set up the right amount of scent pool and wax pool at the top of your actual candle while it's burning. And so you want to make sure that it's a strong enough wick that it'll melt all of the wax in the candle, but at the same time that it won't burn so much wax really quickly, so that they will last you longer while you're burning them. And so, I mean, as always, we'll go through that, but I always recommend 100% go Eco Wicks, and the hint behind that is make sure that you go magnesium wicks. They have all different kinds. They have zinc core, CD, Eco, HTP, LX, T-Light, paper core wicks. You can buy wooden wicks if you like wooden wicks, which I do not recommend, but if you like them, you know, they can be fun. They do also offer from time to time, I've seen people offer sample kits, which are a good way to try some different stuff out, see which ones you like. And you can also buy wicks by the roll. Now, wicks are so like really cheap because you buy them by the hundreds at a time. So it's kind of, in my opinion, you're spending like between 2 and 6 cents on each wick that you're actually putting in there, especially if you're buying Eco Wicks or the magnesium, which are the Cadillac of wicks. So buying them on the roll and cutting them yourself, there's no reason to do that. No reason to make things more difficult. If you want to save that 1 penny that you're possibly gonna save and cut and set your own wicks, then, I mean, go for it. Let me know how it works out, but I'm definitely going to continue to use like the preset clip assemblies, and they'll definitely go from what they're doing. Normally, you want to find out what size glass jar you're going to be using. I would recommend for glass jars, just go to Walmart and pick up a box of, you know, like the basic glass jars that they have it'll be in the canning food section. Normally it's in the section where they sell all of like the kitchen utensils. It'll be back in there, and it'll be where you can go in and can, and they have like ball glass jars, and then there's a new one that's the Walmart specific glass jars. I use both. Ball glass jars are great because they're American made 100%, so that's kind of a nice little thing. But the ones from the Walmart brand are good as well. So either one, whichever one you want to start with, and you can put wax in just about any kind of glass. The only kind of glass that you do not want to put wax into, specifically soy wax into, is basically pure crystal. And I'll go over that when we do our wax video and explain all of that to you guys. So we'll go over that later. But that's just the suggestion. But so check out some glass jars from Walmart, and they also have some really nice, really cool, like different glass jars that you can pick through if you want to have, like, I've seen pumpkin glass jars, and I've seen little hearts, and I'm just depending on what time of the year it is and I've seen 4-leaf clovers and all different kinds of cool stuff. So if there's something that you'd like to do a theme of, the options are definitely out there. You also want to make sure that you also buy a roll of, at least one roll, if not more, of warning labels. Unfortunately, warning labels do not exonerate you if you start selling candles. They just help in the process because you're able to say, it says on this candle, to be safe, to not, it has a warning label on it for what you're selling. And so because you are using fire. So if you're thinking about selling them and not just using them for yourself, definitely get you a couple of rolls of the warning labels and make sure that you stick them on the bottom of every candle that you make. Just as a precaution, but overall, that's really the basics. We'll go over dyes and molds and other accessories and other cool little things that you can do. And then the last thing that I'm going to throw out to you guys today, because I know that this is a long video and I'm sorry for that, but the last thing I'll throw out today is fragrance oils. You want to use for sure, you want to use like custom scents. I recommend using the custom scents that if you can't make them yourself, which is fine, like you don't need to make them yourself. Many companies sell custom made scents for you already. There's a company called Lone Star Candle Supply that you can look for on Google, and they're out of Texas, and they sell everything you would need to run a business, to do this as a hobby, and they sell good quality stuff. I'm not plugging them. They're not giving me anything to say this. I'm just saying that they do a really good job. They do their best to work with you for shipping. They make sure that everything gets to you on time, and they have a great customer service department. They've always treated me with a lot of respect, and so it kind of speaks volumes to me. But I recommend, as a starting situation, jump on their website and check out Top Seller Sample Packs. What they do, it's kind of a really cool idea. They take like 10 or 50 or so many bottles, and they're usually like little bitty bottles, but you get like 10 of the most popular scents available on their website that they are selling. And so they send you a box with all of these different custom scents, and then so that you can try a bunch of different things, and then pick yourself up one or two or three, whatever you prefer, different kinds of scents that you really like yourself. First of all, you'll burn more candles if you have stuff that you like. It's just a logical system. But if you're trying to sell them, you will always be able to show more enthusiasm for selling something that you like. So I always recommend that you go with scents that you like, or the scents that you know. And if you have any questions on that as well, obviously you're more than welcome to ask those questions. And we will definitely be shooting a movie in the future, to explain that kind of thing, and recommendations that I would give and things like that for any type of scents. But as always, thank you guys very, very much for watching this. I'm very sorry that this movie was so long. I wasn't planning on it being this long, but I just wanted to give a lot of information. And as always, if you have questions, post it below. Hit that subscribe key, hit that bell for me. If you want to, let me know. We're going to be doing things in the future. If you have any suggestions on like episodes we can do in the future, or things that you would like to know that I could do an episode on, let me know. I'd be happy to do that. But it was great to be able to, chat with you guys today. Again, this is James today with Lone Star. I'm sorry, not Lone Star, with Light Up the Dark Candles, saying thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great day and happy candle making.